Part 2. Azure Moon. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Myrddin, the Kingdom Army begins to invade Imperial territory. In response, the Imperial Army garrisons soldiers at Fort Mercius.
We have received a report from our spy. It would seem the Empire is gathering troops at Fort Mercius. This is undoubtedly in response to us taking the Great Bridge of Myrddin. Their numbers are more than double ours. We believe that the Emperor herself may be leading them. If House Regan can reconcile with House Gloucester sooner than later, then Claude can proceed with his plan to rally the Alliance Lords, gather troops, and invade Empire territory.
At this rate, 3 military forces will be clashing at Gronder Field.
If you wish to indulge in nostalgia, do it elsewhere.
I'm afraid the difference in military strength is far from negligible. While we are elite soldiers, I am still uneasy about this.
If possible, I'd like to request reinforcements right away. If we can rely on any of the major kingdom houses for military support, it would be House Karen, I'd wager. House Karen has yet to declare fealty to the Empire.
It is also my home. I will make the request to my father. With things as they are, I don't think he can refuse. The Church has long protected me. I am certain that any request from the Church will be answered to the utmost of their ability.
Very well. We're counting on you, Catherine.
I suppose that is all we can do for now.
So it would seem. Though if there are any other avenues worth exploring, I would suggest...
Ah, good point. We have no reason to engage the Alliance directly.
Even if we do receive Count Karen's aid, we still won't have the troops we need to face the Empire.
But if we join forces with the Alliance, then our numbers will rival the Empire's. Agreed. It's about the only thing we can do. For now, let's send a messenger and try to figure out what the Alliance hopes to achieve.
It's hard to believe this decisive battle will take place at Gronder Field. I imagine that place is full of memories for all of you.
We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion back in the day. It seems like a lifetime ago.
I can't help but remember, even though I wish I didn't.
Our feast after the battle. I remember it well. We all had so much fun together.
No! Please, stop it. I had finally put all of that out of my mind. This isn't right. They're our friends. We used to study together. We shouldn't be fighting them.
Why not march up to Her Majesty in a reminder of that? Oh, that's right. Because you want to live to see tomorrow.
No matter who the enemy is, I will fight for His Highness.
Tell me, Boar Prince, do we stand a chance?
Who knows?
If we lose, we'll have died for you. I hope you know that.
That's enough, Felix. We must focus on the battle ahead.
Make your peace before we depart. It's kill or be killed out there. We will cross blades with the Empire, but it's possible we will also have to strike down the Alliance.
Your Highness, do you feel no hesitation about killing your former friends?
I'm used to killing familiar faces by now.
The Great Bridge of Myrddin was considerably better fortified than it was 5 years ago. The bridge was full of soldiers, and they all died. And Ferdie was there. We killed Ferdie, Professor. He used to be our friend. Do you remember those days?
Okay. The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I'm glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Hi there!
No.
Hello.
No.
I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. Never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. His Highness, Lord Rodrigue, you? There's really something wrong with a lot of you, I swear.
Professor,
Pardon me.
reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. I'm glad you think so highly of me, but we have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgleys. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all.
Really now? There's unrest everywhere these days. All of my fellow merchants seem to be endangered. I hope things go back to normal soon. People need more to smile about, aside from my great deals.
Yeah. You know, war really is terrible. People die, food becomes scarce. Weapons and rations start selling like hotcakes. Nobles start begging for loans. Oh, I didn't mean for that to sound so cold, really. Anyway, where are we off to this time? I hope it's the Alliance. Pardon me.
So, Claude and my father have made peace. That is to be expected. They both prioritize their own interests above all else. So long as those interests are in alignment, they will continue to cooperate. And based on that reasoning, one might infer that the Alliance should be also willing to work with the Kingdom's military. I highly doubt Claude would refuse to assist us if we were to ask.
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too.
He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Mercius. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Say we do manage to take down Edelgard here. What do you think His Highness will do next? As long as there's a plan, I won't complain. I just, you know, want to know there is a plan. Yeah, I suppose that's the most likely plan, since we're traveling with the church and everything. I suppose we should focus on the battle right in front of us, instead of what happens later.
As powerful as our knights are, we're outnumbered by a long shot. This won't be easy. It's crazy to attempt this. I guess I'm crazy to go along with it.
Say, I once saw the prince patting the head of an orphan from the monastery. Does this mean even that cruel man has some empathy in his heart? Was it just a random whim? Maybe my eyes just tricked me.
So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
The next battle might take us to Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course that was a very different time. When it was over, all three class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we?
After we cross the Great Bridge of Myrddin, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, remember? Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip. Oh, no. You should pray we don't run into him at all. The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know?
Let's keep our guard up. I had to protect my friends. Let's keep our guard up. Let's keep our guard up. I had to protect my... The situation in the Alliance has changed so much, but I haven't heard a word from my adoptive father. Do you think he's forgotten about me? I'm not overly concerned about him. I'd actually be happier if he really did forget about me. Everything would be so much easier.
You have my sincerest gratitude. Circumstances and my wounds have prevented me from being by His Highness's side these 5 years. I am grateful that you have found him for me. I am once again in your debt.
I can finally kill her. Finally, I can avenge them.
Let's see. I've got to keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Oh, it's you, Professor. Sorry, I was a little lost in thought there, about all that has happened and all that is to come. I'm sure the battles ahead will not be easy, but please take good care of His Highness.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
Really? The thought of fighting people who were once our friends, it makes my heart heavy. If it was gonna come to this, maybe I should have avoided making friends with people from the Empire and the Alliance to begin with. I just don't know, Professor. I'm having a hard time with it. It did often seem strange to me at the Academy that we were studying with all these people from all over the world. but I feel like I've finally started to understand the real reason behind it. The more you get to know people from other places, the harder you'll try to avoid fighting wars with them. The thought of...
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. We already fought Ferdinand at the Great Bridge of Myrddin, but I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
If we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Mercius, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? The battle just ahead of us is far from certain.
I'm glad you're the one giving orders on the battlefield, Professor. I don't think we should trust Dimitri with that task. Although it's thanks to his obsession that we're wasting no time, taking the shortest route to defeating the Empire. I just can't see a bright future for this army, fighting as we are under the banner of a prince possessed. Even if we do succeed in defeating the Empire, I wonder what will become of Fodlan. I apologize. Whenever I'm with you, I speak more openly than I should. Please keep this between us. Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing me here. I've been given permission to take part in this next mission, too. I'll finally be able to avenge my brother. I swear. I'll take down that monster. I'll finally...
Yet another grand battle awaits. Many will lose their lives. Yes, let's. We must both make it home in one piece. Even considering those we are up against. Friends from a time now past. I won't hold back.
Catherine will surely be able to convince Count Karen. All that remains is to wait for a response from the Alliance side. For now, there are preparations to be made for the coming battle. Catherine, all that for now, I have a request. Catherine will all for now.
Professor!
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The Great Tree Moon is finally upon us. It's time to celebrate a new year. We only get so many. Folks up top don't seem to be in the mood to celebrate, though. I hate war.
We've seen the face of evil. One of its faces, at least. Even the Alliance is involved now. Hopefully, we can avoid dragging Alliance territory through the horrors of war. I may have cut ties with my family, but I still want them to be safe and all.
That's so. What a pain. What an absolute pain. Concerned, are you? That's nice. A little too nice. Here's a word of warning. If anyone here asks you for a favor, it's probably just a scam.
Across the bridge is Burgley's territory. It marks the start of our incursion into the Empire. Worry not. I feel no trepidation as we do this. Mark how my spellcraft carries us through to Envar, heart of the Empire.
used to be a rather important person in the church, but I am in exile for committing a crime. I embezzled some money, but it wasn't out of greed. My hometown was pillaged, you see, and the church wasn't putting in enough to rebuild. Please, you can't tell anyone you saw me here. I'm in hiding from the army. I couldn't stand the war, the violence. I had to get away. But now that I've deserted, I can't go home. Justice, ambition, what does any of that matter if you're dead? I just want to live. Is that so wrong?
That Duke Fraldarius is a rather outstanding guy. Getting into his good graces isn't without challenges. If he were a bit more corrupt, he'd be much more pliable. I'm not trying to pull anything funny, just noting that he's a respectable soldier. I hear he's the sort to have drinks with his men, getting to know them personally. Just last night, he and Felix had a chat. I'm sure there's a lot to work out between them.
They're fighting people we used to know from the Officers' Academy. Guess that's the kind of thing that happens in war, but still, it's pretty twisted. It makes me feel so... Ugh. Maybe I'll just try not to think about it.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Right.
Professor. Apology.
Let us eat.
Somehow, everything tastes better with company.
I did not expect much from the dining hall, but this does not disappoint.
This is my Eating delicious food really takes my worries away.
That looks appetizing.
I'm sorry. I know I'm boring company.
I realized it after I got to the monastery. Nobody in Fargus knows how to cook.
The bridge was, and Ferdie was.
If we I guess it's the battle just...
So, we all... I guess it's...
I'm glad you're the... I just... Even if I apologize...